Hey, HR friends, welcome back. So we made it to the last 12 hours in this 6.5 day sequence. So this is the 2-2 emotional. It's the end of this 6.5 day sequence. And here's the 12 hours we have circled right here. Now, as always, we're going to talk about polarity points here. All right. Now, this isn't going to change. I think you see what's going to happen here. So when this last 12-hour hits before we get to the bottom of the tide, right? And then the tide's going to turn around and start coming back in. Look at the elevation at the third person level. It is definitely holding at a 5 and jumping up into the 8 range. And we've got the same thing going on here in the combined polarity moments. That's first and third person combined. And you can see we're holding at an 8 and jumping down in between maybe a 7 back up to an 8 and a 9. So this is going to be eventful, and it's already been eventful. If you've been paying attention to the previous 48 hours, I said you're going to start to see world tensions rising. Guess what? We put a video together here that shows that at the moments that nations started to feud with one another, or when nations were gathering together and making other nations concerned, you're going to see the electromagnetics predicted all of that stuff. We're trying to help you, and I hope that nobody bought into this stuff. Okay. I keep telling you, this is just a test. And the first part of this test is not letting these unseen electromagnetics agitate you. Okay? Gotta stay calm. Gotta stay calm. And the solstice is coming here. So it's kind of a big deal. We're gonna change seasons. We're gonna change plutonic shapes. So we're going from one shape to a different shape, and that in itself is going to cause a lot of conflict. All right. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, you need to check out our resources page. We disclose how space-time is created by geometric shapes and a specific sequence of math that interconnects them together. Okay. That's how this is possible. And I'm just telling you, the way this math works is it's about to get a little funky here. Okay. So I'm taking some extra time here to let you know that this is just a start. And now remember what's going to happen here. We're going to get to the peak of this low tide, right? It's going to hit the very bottom. And then we're going to turn this thing around and it's going to start coming in again. So it's definitely going to be a turbulent next, I'd say 36 to 48 hours. All right. And you're going to see that this is going to hold for some time. I'll explain that when we get to the next 12-hour post. So when we get out of this 2-2 and we start the 3-1, that's going to be another post here within 12 hours, and we're going to outline more. But for right now, we're just preparing you. Now, I'd say let's talk about objective. But the truth is here, you just don't get pulled into polarity, okay? So it's really, really important that we, one, stop reacting and making this worse for ourselves, and two, understand what it is space-time reality is demanding of us. You see, we don't get to change the rules. We're in the rules. This is the math. This is the construct. This is how it works. If you want to slow aging, if you want to have a better quality of life, and you want to get out of this negative feedback loop we're in. You see, that's how I'm predicting this stuff. We're in a mathematically dictated negative feedback loop. And that's how we know when these polarity points are going to happen. And that's how we know when we're going to be agitated, which also helps us understand when conflict and suffering is going to amplify. Now, we're here to try to help eliminate, or at the very least, reduce how much we have to suffer individually and together. And to do this, we really need people to start spreading this message about how this works because it's literally this simple. It is not hard to understand, it's super simple to understand. Got to treat everybody like family, and you got to balance your time and your resources to make sure that it's helping everybody equally. Everybody knows that. This is why no one's doing it. This is fooling us, it's duping us. This is organized chaos. I can't say it any more than that. We need to come together with a focus to overcome this chaos, or chaos consumes us. Now, here's the good news. If we have this technology and we're already spreading this message, it means better is on the way. It's just going to take some people that are willing to invest in better. Okay, that's that simple. All right, let's move on here. Let's get into the 24-hour forecast here. So this is really the zoomed in, and this is the point when those two awarenesses, so the 2-2 is going to end and the 3-1 is going to start. Now, if you remember the last time when the 2-3 was ending and the 2-2 was starting, it was reverse. Blue was high and then purple went high. Now you see purple's high, and when this one drops off, blue's going to be high. But please notice, this doesn't really drop off, does it? Stays pretty polarized. And I want you to see where this stays. Our combined average is holding at an 8, and this is bumping up into 10s. It's coming. It's coming. And we really need to do our best for all the listeners out there that are paying attention to this. I mean, just make sure you're not contributing to this and making this worse. Are we going to be able to stop this round? No. This is just one of those experiences where you're going to see how this works and be, yeah, these guys know what they're talking about. All Three Connected absolutely has mathematical evidence, knows how this math works, and we're trying to help you understand how to use this math to your immediate advantage. Because the less you react, the better this is going to get for you. And the more you cooperate, the exponential improvement in your quality is just waiting to happen. It's just one choice and one routine away, and we need your help here. All right. So obviously, I'm just babbling here because you know what we got to do. We got to hold it together. On top of all of these polarity points that are going on, we've got two alignments here. Okay. And the two alignments are going to test the left side of the body. All right. They're both 3 hours long. And this is where, when the end of an E series, a 6.5 day frequency, when it ends, it always ends with matching with the P frequency. So it's like the little exclamation. Now, here's the good news. A lot of times these alignments last for 9 hours, 12 hours. In this case, they're only going to go for 3 hours. So that is the good news on the day. The bad news on the day is, look at the polarity. This is going to cause tension in a lot of people. So the only way that you can reduce tension is not buying into the stress. And that's really hard to do in our world right now because everybody is stressed about everything. Conflict is happening all around us. It's just not getting easier. And the weather's not making it any easier on us either. I can't even imagine what stress feels like when you can't cool down, or you got to worry because it won't stop raining, or you see what's happening here. Stress is compounding. And in order for us to slow this down, we're really going to have to start to cooperate and work together here. I can't say that enough. All right, so the alignments are happening right on top of each other. They're going to happen at the end of this 12-hour sequence. So right when that polarity flip is going to happen, and it's going to be testing left side. So if you've got upper quadrant stuff, well, this is the imbalance. If you've got lower left quadrant stuff, this is the imbalance. Immature daughters here, this is national view here, okay? Balanced national view, and how we're treating immature or women that are maturing their perspectives and trying to balance their routines. And we should be helping them do that. And we should be communicating with them about how we do it in our side of this. And everyone should be working together. That's what this is. Now, if you're not spending your time doing that, it's highly likely you're going to feel this, especially with all this polarity and agitation going on. All right, let's keep moving here. Uh, as far as the testing structure goes, you can see there's going to be some pretty wild movement happening here too when these two change out. We're going to talk more about this when the 3-1 starts, but why not look at it now when we can see the drop off? So you can see left upper quadrant, that's coming down, and you can see right upper quadrant, that's going up. You can also see right lower quadrants coming up and left lower quadrants coming down. Now, let's just check the macros here. Now, because this is only a 12-hour sequence, we don't have the P2 in here, okay? We'll list what's going to happen in the next 12 hours when we get to that point. So we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these awarenesses in here at this exact moment in time. There's 2 here, an E, a P, an M, and an M. There's 4 there and 4 here. So mostly we would expect some lower extremity stuff here. And you can see it stacking up a little bit on the left side, and it's also stacking up a little bit on the left side. So exactly what these alignments are going to test. So if you're going to feel something, it's going to be on this left side in the upper and lower quadrant. And that's how easy that is. All right. So I'm going to say this one last time. Get yourself ready. And all the people you know, warn them. Hey, don't buy into this. Things are about to get a little shaky here everywhere. And if anybody's been watching the news, you know what I'm talking about. There is a lot of tension going on right now, and things aren't slowing down. Now, don't forget about this. We added this in here. We want you to participate. If anybody wants to see the electromagnetics for a specific incident that's just happened, or you want to go back in time and check something out, all you got to do is fill out this form. You don't have to give us your information. You literally just tell us the date in this. We are not getting anything other than this form tells us what you want to see. That's it. All right. Now, this is the confirmation video we're going to talk about briefly. This is the one I put together for you. This is what I've been talking about the last couple days up here and said, hey, you're going to really start to see tensions rising in the world and they're going to start to shoot up. Okay. And that's what this is time to. This is showing you exactly when world events happened that started to get nations, multiple nations, going here. All right. And this one, I talk about space-time math and how we can predict this. And this video in itself, this is a little hard to wrap your head around, but you're going to see here. We're just going to keep showing you this again and again, and it's going to get easier to accept the more you see this. All right. That's it. I hope you enjoy.